In this video, we're going to take a look at activity 313, Basic Inputs Programming Part 6, looking at utilizing the ultrasonic rangefinder, or also known as the sonar. So in this activity, in this video right now, I've got Part 5 sections still labeled. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I hit Save on this to make sure that that part is saved. I can go to File, Save As. And I'm going to go ahead and say this is part 6. Hit the save button. And now I can start making some changes to the file. So this is part 6. And I can say using the ultrasonic rangefinder. I can take out the pseudocode from the last section as well as the programming command lines from the last section as well. So in this section, utilizing the ultrasonic distance sensor, they start off by giving us a sample code, and that way we can see what this kind of looks like to control that. So let's copy it. We'll paste that into our task main. And with this, we can start looking at writing what the pseudocode would have looked like for this program. So we'll say probably start the left motor going forward at half speed. We have a right motor doing the same thing, so I can pretty much copy this last line, paste, and we'll just change left motor, right motor. We'll say until the sonar reads less than 20, stop the left motor, stop the right motor. Go ahead and capitalize some of these. Really, when it comes down to it, a lot of punctuation and sentence structure don't matter, but I do like to capitalize the first letters. Then we'll say turn green LED on. We'll say wait for 6.25 seconds. Turn green LED off. So there's our comments. Now we can go, or now that's what we can use for our comments. So I can go ahead and grab these. And I like to go ahead and just start pasting these. So it kind of makes life a lot easier. And we're going to make sure that each one of our lines from our pseudocode as we copy and paste gets represented in our actual program. So you'll see sometimes I'll copy and paste, or sometimes I just go ahead and type them out because I think it's a little faster for me to do that. Use whatever method is more natural for you. So let's go ahead and compile the program. And let's download. So we're going to be looking off of the ultrasonic rangefinder here. So if I hit the start button, motors are turning forward until we get a value less than 20. So if you look at our sonar, we're reading at 155. If I come in and go get a reading below 20, now it stops the motor. The green LED turns on for 6.25 seconds and then turns off. So there's our command and an error. The last thing will stop the program. So let me go ahead and close this. So we've got our definite behavior being exhibited. Let's go ahead and take a look. Now they want us to modify our program to perform the pseudocode below. Wait until an object is detected to turn the motors on, and then wait for the object to move more than 25 centimeters away before turning the motors off. So let me go ahead and grab this first line. That will actually be up here toward the top, where we can go ahead and say wait until an object is detected to turn both motors on. Well, since we're going to have the motors be turning on already, let's just go ahead and take out that last part. Then we're going to turn the motors on. The last thing they said, wait for the object to move before turning the motors off. So let's go ahead and go here. So it says we're going to turn them on half speed, wait until the sonar reads. So we want to say, we'll get rid of this section and just by overriding it, wait for the object to move more than 25 centimeters away. We can go through and say, get rid of the before turning the motors off, and then stop the motors. And then they didn't say anything, they just said modify the program to have that in there. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave the green LED stuff already in, and then let's go ahead and let's take a look at adding this in. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna create a line above our start motors. Just for the sake of showing this, we'll open up the natural language library, click the wait. Okay, notice that we don't have anything in the wait. Well, here's the until. So here, till sonar is less than. So I can go ahead and grab and drag that over. And then here is the distance. So it always does by the distance. So we'll say by 20. And then we'll go ahead and put in what sensor port. We'll use the sonar. And then rather than having sonar less than, there's a sonar greater than. So I'm just going to kind of get rid of it and type that in. And then we're going to say sonar is greater than 25. And let's go ahead and we can go through and say that we'll say greater than 25. This is a pretty tight threshold, so we'll see how this works. Let me grab this comment. It's very similar to the top one. And then we'll go ahead and say till it reads less than 20. All right, so this will go through and help us with kind of creating that. All right, we'll see how this behaves. So if we need to, we might, just to kind of see what will happen. All right, we'll go ahead and hit start. So right now, nothing's happening. The motors are not turning on because it's not reading anything less than 20. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my hand and I'll get it down. So once we get below 20, the motors are gonna turn on, and then I kind of until it reads greater than 25. We'll see how this works. See if it skipped over my sections of code here. And then they stop the motors, and then the green LED kind of turns on. So that one goes kind of quick. So as you go through it again, as you kind of take a look, but that's what they want for the pseudocode. So they want us to move more than 25 centimeters away before turning it off. So let me go ahead. And the other thing is too, is we still got an LED that flashes over here. So let's go ahead and hit start again. Nothing's going to happen until I'm below 20. So these will stay on because as long as I've got my hand covering this. Then once I move it past 25, once it reads a number greater than 25, then it turns off the motors. This green LED is going to go through and turn on for 6.25 seconds and turn off. So there's our intended behavior. Again, if you're not kind of careful, if you move your hand like me, kind of move it out of the way too fast, that's why it stops so quickly. But it is doing what we want it to do. So, all right, and in this will end up being the final part in activity 313, and this will finalize that, and you're able to finish up with all the programs. So hope you enjoyed this video series on 313 basic inputs programming. Take a look at the next set for activity 314 called while loops and if-else structures, and we're going to start looking at how to write some a little bit more complex programming methods, but also to allow us to do more with our programs as well.